The mind of Boots Riley is back on the big screen, and you can always expect an eccentric ride when stepping into one of his films. Today we're talking about I Love Boosters. Directed and written by Boots Riley, the film stars Keke Palmer, Taylor Paige, LaKeith Stanfield, and Demi Moore. The story follows Keke Palmer and a crew of boosters, also known as shoplifters, who steal designer clothes and resell them at affordable prices as they go up against a corporate fashion mogul in this wild, stylish, anti-capitalist Bay Area setting. This is Jared from the Grab Some Popcorn podcast. Let's dive into it. Now, I want to start off with the strengths of this movie. I think I Love Boosters is written really well. The story feels modern with its social commentary, especially with the main character trying to fight against a corporate giant while simultaneously being targeted and consumed by it at the same time. The movie clearly has something it wants to say, and for the most part, I think these messages do land. However, I'm not sure they'll connect with everyone equally. And you could say that about any movie, but when a film is intentional with its theme and commentary, it becomes important for those ideas to feel understandable and impactful to a broad audience. I also think the movie was genuinely funny. LaKeith Stanfield plays this eccentric, almost Prince-like character who doesn't get a ton of screen time, but every moment he's on the screen, he demands your attention. His performance and overall presence make a huge impression despite the limited role. Another thing that the movie absolutely nails is the fashion and visual style. Since fashion is such a major part of the movie's identity, it was important for the outfits, colors, and character looks to stand out. And I think the film completely delivers there. Every character feels visually distinct, and the costume design adds a lot to the movie's personality. As far as my favorite scene, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a wild scene involving LaKeith that completely caught me off guard and ended up being the highlight of the movie for me. Honestly, pretty much every scene involving LaKeith Stanfield or Taylor Paige stood out to me as some of the best moments in the film personally. As for weaknesses, I do think that the movie becomes a bit messy during the third act. They introduce technology involving teleportation and reality manipulation, and while the ideas are interesting, it throws off the pacing in the movie a little. The story starts introducing so many concepts at once that it loses some of the focus the earlier parts of the film had. I also think introducing Jinhoo's character so late in the movie felt a little unnecessary. I understand the connection between her storyline and the exploitation of the workers and the overall theme of the movie is trying to convey, but at that point in the film, it mostly just added extra length. I'm not mad that it was included, but personally, I think the movie could have worked without it. Another issue I had was the subplot involving Keke Palmer's character discovering that Demi Moore's character stole one of her designs. Unless I missed something, I don't really remember that storyline being fully addressed or confronted afterward, which made it feel a little underdeveloped. I'm also somewhat mixed on the resolution of the ending. It wasn't fully clear on how Keke Palmer's character ends up getting a happy ending, considering most of the products seem to be destroyed by the end of the movie, or maybe they sold the suits that they had got. Not really sure, but the fact that it was unclear slightly weakens the payoff for me just a little bit. Overall, I thought I Love Boosters was a solid movie. I will say I personally enjoyed Sorry to Bother You a bit more, but this still feels like another strong entry into the mind of Boots Riley. At this point, I think he's developed a very distinct signature style, and you pretty much know what type of experience you're stepping into when you're watching one of his films. While this movie does get a little messy in the third act, I think the performances, the humor, the social commentary, and the visual style make it worth checking out. It's definitely one of those movies that will probably connect more with some audiences than others, but I can appreciate how ambitious and creative this movie is. I'm going to give I Love Boosters a 7 out of 10, and I do recommend watching it when it becomes available to you. Alright, y'all, that's all I've got for I Love Boosters. Let me know what you thought of the movie. Let me know what you thought of the review in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.